Hey everyone, James Azar here with the CyberHub podcast. Good morning, happy Thursday. It's May 21st, 2020. We have a lot to talk about in today's Practitioner Brief, a special non-PDF segment here. So those who are tuning in for the first time that are used to getting our PDF in their inbox, welcome to our audio podcast and video podcast if you're watching us on YouTube. Let's get right into what's going on today. VMware releases a security update for Cloud Director where a code injection vulnerability in the VMware Cloud Director was privately reported to VMware. Patches and workarounds are available to remediate. This vulnerability is actually labeled as CVE 2023-956, and it's documented in the VMware knowledge base. The link can be found on our PDF for a lot more information from VMware regarding this specific security update for Cloud Director. Vital as more and more organizations now are cloud reliant thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Internet Systems Consortium has released security advisories that addresses vulnerabilities affecting multiple versions of the ISC Berkeley Internet Name Domain called Bind. A remote attacker could exploit these vulnerabilities to cause a denial of service condition. There are several workarounds. There's two different potential effects here, folks, that they've released, and both of those are linked on our PDF. Crucially important to address these as well, simply because they address DNS. And one of the reports we published last week spoke of the fact that we're seeing an increase in DNS attacks in the COVID-19 era. And so something to address immediately, look into, and try to set some parameters before the weekend is upon us. As well as Microsoft is issuing a DNS Server Advisory. Microsoft is aware of a vulnerability involving packet amplification that affects Windows DNS servers. If you're using a Windows DNS server, this goes directly to you. This could lead to denial of service attacks, as well as several other vulnerabilities where an attacker could gain access to a client to get referrals and data packets as well. So the link for the Microsoft fix is available on our PDF. You can get that at cyberhubpodcast.com. Again, that's cyberhubpodcast.com. You can register, get this in your inbox daily, Monday through Thursday. We wrap up our week today. And I want to wrap up our week with a special segment, one that's been happening probably for the last week and a half silently. We haven't really heard about it much here in the States, although internationally it is starting to really raise a bunch of eyebrows. Iran and Israel's shadow cyber war is now front and center. There's been a report of multiple attacks on Iranian infrastructure by what's being alleged by Israel. And this morning in Israel, we saw a large-scale Iranian cyber attack on private and public websites, defacing the websites with threatening messages. Earlier this week, the supreme Iranian leader Khamenei said that Iran has a final solution for Israel, almost mimicking the words of Adolf Hitler for his final solution. And we're seeing now this get amplified. In times like these, the fifth domain is now cyber. And while it's been in the shadows, and we here in the States are used to it to being in the shadows, and in part of the world, it's a shadow war. Iran and Israel are now bringing it front and center, where it's affecting private enterprise on both sides of the aisle. Israel did launch an attack on the Iran port in retaliation to an attempted breach of the Israel water system and water authority by Iranian hackers. Earlier, a few weeks ago, I had Ohad Zeidenberg on. He's an Iran expert, an Iran cybersecurity expert, a person who's been referred to by Director Krebs at CISA and several others, a dear friend of the show, also the founder of CTI League that's been working with healthcare organizations during this COVID-19 pandemic for free. 1,500 researchers at this point that are working all as a team with no motivation for any financial gain, but rather helping healthcare facilities, hospitals, and people that are in the front line of COVID-19 to deal with cyber attacks, especially if they don't have the cyber infrastructure in place already. You can go to cti-league.com for more information there. This is going to continue, folks, and we're going to start to see this shadow war really come and take front and center. This cyber is not a victimless crime as a point of theory. It's not a victimless crime. There are victims when a website is defaced. A city, a municipality, a business is now on hold until they can recover. A lot of people don't have the technical knowledge in these businesses, municipalities, and other places to really handle this. And so it creates a need for cybersecurity professionals to go out there and assist. But there's a debate, and I posted something on my private LinkedIn page. You can look me up on LinkedIn, James Azar, and connect with me there. I posted something right before this, recording this episode today, talking about how do private companies really start to account for these shadow wars when they affect them and they become public in this domain of cyber. And it's a very, very interesting question. It's one that needs to be debated, and there needs to be some action taken. That's it for us here today, folks, at the CyberHub podcast. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn at CyberHub podcast. That's it for me here today, folks. Tomorrow we'll have our Tech Corner featuring my very good friend JJ from Know Before. You guys are gonna love it. Until then, folks, and until tomorrow, stay cyber safe.